Child, Andy Cohen has a lot on his plate lately. He was just recovering from COVID, got a one-year-old son to take care of. He's hosting his series, Watch What Happens Now, live with Andy Cohen from home. And we're glad he found time to come hang out with us for a little bit. So please welcome back the fabulous and amazing Andy Cohen. Hello, honey.
Hey. Hi, ladies. I am so enjoying your show. This is the realest conversation on TV. It's so good. I'm so down with you, ladies.
Thank you.
Excellent. We are down with you, too. Hey, your baby Benjamin is 16 months old. You've been at home with him every day during this pandemic. How's it going?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
It's going great.
The pajamas are killing me, okay?
It's going great. Yeah, we have a lot of pajama fashions in this house. It is the only kind of benefit of this horrible time that we're in now, that I get to spend so many hours with him of bonding, and that is a wonderful thing that I'll never be able to get back. So I'm trying to kind of lean into the gratitude of that.
And your friend Anderson Cooper also had a baby this year at the beginning of the pandemic, and unfortunately you haven't been able to see each other, so you had your sons meet over video. What was that like, just to go through this huge milestone in your lives at the same time?
You know, I have since met Wyatt, and he is so cute, and he's such a mini-me of Anderson. It's just incredible. Anderson is already the best dad, and this is, I can tell, centering him and grounding him in ways that we all, you know, as new parents find out. And he's always, you know, he's a family guy, and I'm so just overjoyed that he and I can go through this together, and that our kids are going to know each other for their whole lives. I mean, I hope they don't turn on each other.
They'll probably be best friends. I think it's so sweet. And Andy, to switch gears, I've always thought that you would be the perfect person to moderate our political presidential debates, because you have a lot of work with the housewives that I think would come in handy with this. Would you ever do it, sincerely, if you were asked? And what would you ask President Trump and Vice President Biden this time around if given the opportunity?
I would love to. Every time there's any debate, my Twitter is full, my timeline is full, saying, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? I would love to. I think what's missing is a fact check component of debates. I don't think that the president has been challenged on this Russia and the troops issue. And there have been no real follow-up questions to that. And, you know, that's a whole tip of the iceberg. But I think there needs to be some kind of live fact-checking. You know, during a Housewives reunion, when I know that they're not telling the truth, I will either know myself and tell them, or someone will tell me in my ear. And I feel like the debate moderators need some neutral panel who can say, that's a lie, tell him that, and move forward.
Yeah.
You know, Andy, seeing that shot of you and Anderson, two gay men with their babies on television, did my heart so, it made me feel so verklempt. To see that now, I mean, look at where we've come in this country, even though we have so many problems. It was a beautiful thing to see, and those kids are so adorable. But let me ask you the question, because you had coronavirus in March, and you said it took you out for about 2 weeks, and since then, you have tested positive for antibodies, but you discovered that you're restricted from donating your plasma because you're a gay man. Now, why is that? It's not that your blood is infected in any way. What is it? How did you react when you found out? And what is the reason?
I knew that gay men were not allowed to give blood. This has been something that has been going on for years, and it was something that I took as fact in the early days of HIV in the 90s. If I ever tried to give blood, the testing for HIV was far less sophisticated and accurate and fast as it is now. You can get an HIV test like that, and they also do another screening for blood for HIV, so it's screened twice before going into any system. But I was surprised because I signed up for a program with Mount Sinai because they needed the plasma of people who had survived COVID. Yes. And they said, you can't do it. I was hurt. I just thought, well, this is crazy. Technology has come so far that you've got to be looking at this. And this was a few months ago. Now I had I had another test last week for COVID and for to see what my antibodies were. And the doctor said, oh my God, your antibodies are so robust, which she found to be unusual 4 months after having, originally tested positive for COVID. And, once again, I thought, what a loss. Here I have these robust antibodies and I can't share my plasma and possibly help anybody. So extreme disappointment. I think that this is something that I've been speaking up about because I think that it's, we need help here. We need help.
That seems to me to be discriminatory. I just don't even understand that. Especially if it stems from the days
they're worried about HIV in blood, but I'm HIV negative, and you can find that out, and then you can test my blood a couple times before putting it into a system. So it is discriminatory. I don't understand it.
Yeah. I've been working with the Elizabeth Taylor Foundation on certain issues involving HIV and the law and the discrimination. So, Andy, we've got to talk offline about this because I think there's some work that needs to be done in this area. But you have a new animated series on Quibi called The Andy Cohen Diaries. It's based on your best-selling books about your life. Tell us more about that.
This is, I've wanted to write new versions of the Andy Cohen Diaries and just for a variety of reasons hadn't, but I was meaning it's on Quibi. And so every episode is like 4 or 5 minutes and they're different days in my life and they feature the housewives and the Kardashians and basically anyone that I run into where I have a crazy kind of experience. Ben is in it. My son, and it's a lot of fun, and I love writing, and they're fun and funny, and they're animated by an incredible team at Shadow Machine with caricatures by Robert Risco, the great artist.